Hello and welcome to the channel. If you haven't done so already, make sure to give it a like and subscribe. And as always, I appreciate every single one of you guys who's supporting me by watching my videos, liking, which actually helps with the algorithm so I can grow bigger and bigger. And if you don't like it, give it a thumbs down. It's your right. You can do that. It's fine. I can take it. Okay, maybe sometimes I can't take it, but I'll try. But anyway, this is an interesting um, topic, or not really a topic, but it's an interesting article that I'm going to be covering here. And as always, you guys know that I am a DIY. I like to, do my own work when it comes to repairing my vehicles. I try not to take it to the shop. If it's something that I can fix, I'll find a way to fix it. Or if it's something that I want to add to my vehicles, I will find a way to add to my vehicle. Like my exhaust, I installed it myself. My intercooler, I installed it myself for my Type R. When I get the intake, I'm going to be installing that myself as well too. When it comes to car maintenance, I do believe the best way for you to do is, if you can, or if you have somebody that can do it for you that you trust, I suggest you go that route when it comes to car repair instead of relying on shops. Um, because we're going to be covering, like I said, this article. Always try to do it yourself, especially when you're changing your oil or filter or cabin filters. Those are really, really simple. If you guys want me to do a video on that, I know I have tons of video on the channel as well too, if you want to go look it up. But if you want to, I can do it. It's no big deal. It takes like no time at all, especially the cabin filter, the intake filters, as well as changing the oil filters. Those are simple things that anybody can do. If you have a jack stand and what is it, a 17 millimeter, I believe, socket. But anyway, let's go ahead and cover this article. It is very unfortunate. Uh, you know, I apologize to the family that lost their kid, but it was negligence due to somebody's incompetent ability to drive a manual transmission vehicle. So let's go ahead and cover this article now. So here we go. So this is the article. How a Jeep customer was sued after dealer's teen mechanic accidentally killed coworker during an oil change. So I'll read you guys, the whole article. It's a lot to go through or dissect, I guess, and I'm gonna try my best. I'm not really a lawyer. I'm more of a DIY, and just covering, and this falls under that category, which is very important to, it's better if you work on your own vehicle, because then you know that it's done correctly, or at least the proper oil is put into the vehicle. You don't really know what they're putting into your vehicle when it's behind the shop. You don't know. You don't know. And they don't always put everything like how it should be. Like I found, clips missing, bolts missing underneath the undercarriage of the vehicle when I go change it myself. So, that's why I do it myself now. So anyway, let's go ahead. A Jeep Wrangler is at the heart of a tragic and vexing legal dispute in Michigan that has ensnared an owner who was nowhere near his car when it was involved in a fatal accident. So I tried to, color code it, I guess, make it easier for me. The 2019 Wrangler was having its oil change at Rochester Hills Chrysler Jeep and Dodge in Michigan on March 13, 2020, when a 19-year-old mechanic who neither had a license nor knew how to operate a vehicle with a manual gearbox. That's the first mistake right there. Any mechanic should be able to drive both standard, which is, manual transmission, or automatic. You should know how to drive these cars. If you're a mechanic, you should know. If you don't know, then you shouldn't be anywhere near a car. If you want to be a mechanic, that should be your first rule, is like you have to know how to drive a manual transmission as well as a automatic transmission, and you should have a license. The vehicle, in order to let it run, court documents indicate that the mechanic then took his foot off the clutch while it was in gear, causing it to lurch forward and run over another mechanic, Jeffrey Hawkins, instantly killing him. So that's unfortunate. It's because of negligence. And first of all, like, if the kid is 19 years old, I mean, I don't care how much knowledge you have at 19, you don't know it all. Like, if you don't know how to drive a manual transmission, that's a disqualification right there as a mechanic. I'm sorry, that's a disqualification right there. And you don't even have a license? If it's true, if he doesn't have a license, what is he doing in a garage? The matter has drawn national attention because the family of the deceased mechanic is suing Sergio Enrique Diaz Navarro. That's the owner of the car who handed it to be serviced, accusing him of being vicariously liable for negligence acts, reports the Kansas City Star. David Fim, I can't say his last name. The attorney representing the Hawkins state has argued that the situation is similar to owner's responsibility when they lend their car to a friend. The reality of the situation is even more complicated than that, though. True. But to me, it's not like I'm handing the car over to my friend. If it is, it's not that simple. When you take your car to a shop, this shop is responsible for what happens to your car. You, the owner, are not liable for any damage that is caused in the shop because it's out of your hands. It's not something that you did. You didn't do anything wrong. The owner did nothing wrong at all. All he did was take his car to the shop to get the oil changed, and that was his first mistake. Shouldn't have done that. You should have just did it yourself or find an independent shop to go take your car to and change the oil. But then again, the laws are completely different when it comes to, legal issues here in the United States in California comparing to other states. So we're going to dig in a little deeper. We're going to go a little deeper. Michigan legislation that prevents employee from suing their employer for accidents that happen in the workplace. The law also says that a dealership is not liable for the acts of people who drive a vehicle with the owner's permission. If that's the law, why the heck would anybody want to take their car to be serviced anywhere in Michigan? That is stupid. I'm sorry, but that is a stupid law. The law also says that a dealership is not liable for the acts of people who drive a vehicle with the owner's permission. So what if I take my car to the shop and I said you don't have my permission to drive it anywhere? You don't have the you can't do anything. You can't drive it anywhere. You got to change the oil here. You cannot operate the vehicle. Make it make sense. That doesn't make sense. Anyway, let's go on. The dealership is not getting away scot free though. Rochester Hill Chrysler Dodge has been ordered by the court to indemnify Diaz Navarro if he's found liable of negligence. So, I had to Google that big word for me. So, here you go, indemnify, compensate someone for harm or loss. So they're going to compensate Diaz Navarro if he's found guilty, even though he did absolutely nothing but take his car to the shop. First mistake. That means that in reality, the owner is going to be held responsible, but the dealership's insurance company is paying, according to Femina. I apologize if I can't get your name right. Who added that the plaintiff hoped to be awarded in excess of $15 million. Diaz Navarro, who was said to have no active negligence, and records say he has offered 100,000 in policy limit as he agrees he is liable for damages under the owner's liability statute. The court, though, has ruled he is entitled to compensation, and as it stands, the dealership and the other mechanic will be held liable for any awarded damages and attorney fees in the case. So if he wants to, he can go after, I think that's what it says here, he's going after the shop themselves. And he can go after the other mechanic as well too. The dealership, however, is going to appeal the indemnity ruling, which they shouldn't. You fucked up. by hiring that guy. You messed up. You should have done a better job of hiring. But I'm sure he was probably like a family member or something. The dealership, however, is going to appeal. Reports Fox Detroit 2. If it wins, Navarro Diaz could be responsible for all the money awarded to Hawkins' family. His attorney told the outlet that they intend to fight the case in a trial at the end of this month. So if you live in Michigan or anywhere in Michigan, just do your own repairs or find um somebody that's knowledgeable about vehicles or know how to actually drive a manual transmission vehicle. That should be like the first question when you take your car to any shop. Do you guys know how to drive a manual transmission vehicle? Because if they don't even drop your car there, especially if it's a manual transmission. And this is unfortunate, somebody lost their lives because of negligence from somebody that doesn't know how to drive a manual. It should be him responsible for everything. Him and the shop should be responsible for any kind of damages. But I don't know, man. This is just an unfortunate case. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe if you want to. It's completely up to you. And I'm out.